Chapter 2. Specific Provisions. Article I-40. Specific Provisions, relating to the Common Foreign and Security Policy 1. The European Union shall conduct a common foreign and security policy based on the development of mutual political solidarity among member states, the identification of questions of general interest, and the achievement of an ever-increasing degree of convergence of member states' actions. 36 Part I-2. The European Council shall identify the Union's strategic interests and determine the objectives of its common foreign and security policy. The Council shall frame this policy within the framework of the strategic guidelines established by the European Council, and in accordance with Part 3. 3. The European Council and the Council shall adopt the necessary European decisions. 4. The common foreign and security policy shall be put into effect by the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs, and by the member states using national and Union resources. 5. Member states shall consult one another within the European Council and the Council on any foreign and security policy issue which is of general interest in order to determine a common approach before undertaking any action on the international scene, or any commitment which could affect the Union's interests. Each member state shall consult the others within the European Council, or the Council. Member states shall ensure, through the convergence of their actions, that the Union is able to assert its interests and values on the international scene. Member states shall show mutual solidarity. 6. European decisions, relating to the common foreign and security policy, shall be adopted by the European Council, and the Council unanimously, except in the cases referred to in Part 3. The European Council and the Council shall act on an initiative from a member state, on a proposal from the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs, or on a proposal from that minister with the Commission's support. European laws and framework laws shall be excluded. 7. The European Council may unanimously adopt a European decision, authorizing the Council to act by a qualified majority in cases other than those referred to in Part 3. 8. The European Parliament shall be regularly consulted on the main aspects and basic choices of the common foreign and security policy. It shall be kept informed of how it evolves. Article I-41. Specific Provisions, relating to the Common Security and Defense Policy 1. The common security and defense policy shall be an integral part of the common foreign and security policy. It shall provide the Union with an operational capacity drawing on civil and military assets. The Union may use them on missions outside the Union for peacekeeping, conflict prevention, and strengthening international security in accordance with the principles of the United Nations Charter. The performance of these tasks shall be undertaken using capabilities provided by the member states. 2. The common security and defense policy shall include the progressive framing of a common Union defense policy. This will lead to a common defense when the European Council, acting unanimously, so decides. It shall in that case recommend to the member states the adoption of such a decision in accordance with their respective constitutional requirements. Treaty establishing a Constitution for Europe 37. The policy of the Union, in accordance with this article, shall not prejudice the specific character of the security and defense policy of certain member states. It shall respect the obligations of certain member states which see their common defense realized in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization under the North Atlantic Treaty and be compatible with the common security and defense policy established within that framework. 3. Member states shall make civilian and military capabilities available to the Union for the implementation of the common security and defense policy to contribute to the objectives defined by the Council. Those member states which together establish multinational forces may also make them available to the common security and defense policy. Member states shall undertake progressively to improve their military capabilities. An agency in the field of defense capabilities development, research, acquisition and armaments European Defense Agency shall be established to identify operational requirements, to promote measures to satisfy those requirements, to contribute to identifying, and, where appropriate, implementing any measure needed to strengthen the industrial and technological base of the defense sector, to participate in defining the European capabilities and armaments policy, and to assist the Council in evaluating the improvement of military capabilities. 4. European decisions, relating to the common security and defense policy, including those initiating the mission as referred to in this article, shall be adopted by the Council, acting unanimously on a proposal from the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs, or an initiative from a member state. The Union Minister for Foreign Affairs may propose the use of both national resources and Union instruments, together with the Commission, where appropriate. 5. The Council may entrust the execution of a task within the Union framework to a group of member states in order to protect the Union's values and serve its interests. The execution of such a task shall be governed by Article 310. 6. Those member states whose military capabilities fulfill higher criteria and which have made more binding commitments to one another in this area with a view to the most demanding missions shall establish permanent structured cooperation within the Union framework. Such cooperation shall be governed by Article 312. It shall not affect the provisions of Article 309. 7. If a member state is the victim of armed aggression on its territory, the other member states shall have towards it an obligation of aid and assistance by all the means in their power, in accordance with Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. This shall not prejudice the specific character of the security and defense policy of certain member states. Commitments and cooperation in this area shall be consistent with commitments under the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which, for those states which are members of it, remains the foundation of their collective defense and the forum for its implementation. 8. The European Parliament shall be regularly consulted on the main aspects and basic choices of the common security and defense policy. It shall be kept informed of how it evolves. 38 Part I Article I-42. Specific provisions relating to the area of freedom, security and justice. 1. The Union shall constitute an area of freedom, security and justice, a. by adopting European laws and framework laws intended, where necessary, to approximate laws and regulations of the member states in the areas referred to in Part 3, b. by promoting mutual confidence between the competent authorities of the member states, in particular on the basis of mutual recognition of judicial and extrajudicial decisions, c. by operational cooperation between the competent authorities of the member states, including the police, customs and other services specializing in the prevention and detection of criminal offenses. 2. National parliaments may, within the framework of the area of freedom, security and justice, participate in the evaluation mechanisms provided for in Article 3-260. They shall be involved in the political monitoring of Europol and the evaluation of Eurojust's activities in accordance with Articles 3-276 and 3-273. 3. Member states shall have a right of initiative in the field of police and judicial cooperation in criminal matters in accordance with Article 3-264. Article I-43. Solidarity Clause. 1. The Union and its member states shall act jointly in a spirit of solidarity if a member state is the object of a terrorist attack or the victim of a natural or man-made disaster. The Union shall mobilize all the instruments at its disposal, including the military resources made available by the member states, to a. prevent the terrorist threat in the territory of the member states, protect democratic institutions and the civilian population from any terrorist attack, assist a member state in its territory, at the request of its political authorities, in the event of a terrorist attack, b. assist a member state in its territory, at the request of its political authorities, in the event of a natural or man-made disaster. 2. The detailed arrangements for implementing this article are set out in Article 3-329, Treaty Establishing a Constitution for Europe 39 Chapter 3. Enhanced Cooperation. Article I-44. Enhanced Cooperation. 1. Member states, which wish to establish enhanced cooperation between themselves within the framework of the Union's non-exclusive competences, may make use of its institutions, and exercise those competences by applying the relevant provisions of the Constitution, subject to the limits, and in accordance with the procedures laid down in this article, and in Articles 3-416 to 3-423. Enhanced cooperation shall aim to further the objectives of the Union, protect its interests, and reinforce its integration process. Such cooperation shall be open at any time to all member states, in accordance with Article 3-418. 2. The European decision authorizing enhanced cooperation shall be adopted by the Council as a last resort, when it has established that the objectives of such cooperation cannot be attained within a reasonable period by the Union as a whole, and provided that at least one-third of the member states participate in it. The Council shall act in accordance with the procedure laid down in Article 3-419. 3. All members of the Council may participate in its deliberations, but only members of the Council, representing the member states, participating in enhanced cooperation shall take part in the vote. Unanimity shall be constituted by the votes of the representatives of the participating member states only. A qualified majority shall be defined as at least 55% of the members of the Council, representing the participating member states, comprising at least 65% of the population of these states. A blocking minority must include at least a minimum number of Council members, representing more than 35% of the population of the participating member states, plus one member, failing which the qualified majority shall be deemed attained. By way of derogation from the third and fourth subparagraphs, where the Council does not act on a proposal from the Commission, or from the Union Minister for Foreign Affairs, the required qualified majority shall be defined as at least 72% of the members of the Council, representing the participating member states, comprising at least 65% of the population of these states. 4. Acts adopted in the framework of enhanced cooperation shall bind only participating member states. They shall not be regarded as part of the acquis, which has to be accepted by candidate states for accession to the Union.